Welcome back, folks, to the Mel Wright Show. This is episode 153. We got a great guest. We got Akbar Sheikh, the ethical persuader, as I call him. Akbar, would you like to quickly introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers?
Sure. My name is Akbar Sheikh from Dallas, Texas. And we like entrepreneurs. We think they're inherently good people, so we like to help them scale. We like to help them generate more income because we know they're going to take a portion of that revenue, give it to their families, communities, and favorite charities, hence making the world a better place.
That's fun. That's great, Akbar. As we were discussing in the pre-show chat, I thought my first question was, if you were a real estate agent in 2018 and you were starting off, what would be some of the tactics and methodologies that you might use to build up your leads and your client base?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I'm actually looking. I'm actually working. Well, I was looking. That's interesting. I was looking for a realtor. Okay.
Yeah.
Recently, and I actually just found one. And I've worked with several realtors. I'm really not impressed with any of them. I'm impressed with this one. For me, let's look at a few things. A, how did I start working with this realtor? Okay. Actually, just going to write this so I don't forget. How did I start working with this realtor? Well, somebody on Facebook, she works with a friend of mine on Facebook. And my friend had a very positive experience with her. So she gave her a shout out on Facebook, said, hey, just closed a great deal. My realtor's awesome. You know, how did that happen? Now you can ask for that stuff because when buying a house, selling a house is daunting. If you do a good job for someone, reciprocity, which is one of the most powerful principles of persuasion in the world, is there. The person you helped wants to help you back. They want to refer you. So what you tell them is, hey, listen, give me a shout out on Facebook. You know, tell everybody your experiences about me. You know, people are 70% more likely to use someone that's been recommended. So if you go on Facebook and you see your uncle who's local or your cousin or your brother or friend or whatever had a phenomenal experience with their realtor and you need one, what are you going to do? You're going to contact them, right? But then on social media, it's a lot larger network. Now, it's interesting. When I clicked on this realtor, actually, I clicked on their profile, and the profile said, father of 4 kids, Texas realtor. Now, I never would have contacted this person if I never got that recommendation, because their profile tells me nothing. Father of 4, which, okay, I mean, I'm a father of 2. The fact that you're a father of 4 doesn't mean much to me. And then you're a Texas realtor, meaningless, because I know you're a realtor. So now, it depends. Who are you working with? You know, for me, for example, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I want to what does that mean? That means I want stuff done quickly. That means I want stuff under market value. That's me. I'm an entrepreneur. Maybe you don't work with entrepreneurs. Maybe you work with regular 9-to-5ers. Then you have to see what's important to them. So, for example, if I was a realtor who's going after entrepreneurs, I would say my profile. I am, you just be truthful. But obviously, as a realtor, you have some sort of skill set. I get you in homes quickly, under market value. And I'm like, yep, exactly. That's exactly what I want. Message. I want to talk to you because you're saying exactly what I want to hear. You're telling me you're going to get me in something quick. You're telling me you're going to get me something under market value. Love it. I'm with you. Now, that's just an entrepreneurial target audience. Maybe you have a different target audience, but you have to just speak to them. When you say father of 4, Texas realtor, you're not targeting anybody because you're not showing anything. It's basically useless. So people are searching on all social media. You have to make sure that your message is there because everyone else is saying the same thing. Friendly realtor or California realtor or let me help you with your real estate needs. All useless. It's all useless. So if you actually give a specific message, a niche message, then that'll help you. Now, for me, again, I'm an entrepreneur. I need a different kind of person. I need a kind of person who responds late at night or early in the morning, doesn't maintain 9 to 5 hours. That's the kind of person I like to work with. Maybe the normal 9 to 5 people, maybe they respect those boundaries. Maybe they're fine. with that context. So you need to know what your audience wants, and you need to be willing to give them that. It's interesting because I had a goal of getting a six-pack, in my stomach. I wanted to be nice and fit. So I started doing kickboxing, and I was doing it, and I was like,
funny enough, Akbar, my wife does that on me.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm doing it, and the most interesting thing happened. Matter of fact, I have the group on here. I've saved it because I'm going to frame it. Let me see if there's just any sensitive information. There's no sensitive. Here's the Groupon. I'm going to frame this actually because, and for those of you who don't know what Groupon is, it's just a coupon for kickboxing. And I'm not a big coupon person, but anyway, I should be. Here's the thing. Right in the middle of class, this is my third class, right in the middle, I get up, I take my gloves, and I don't talk to anyone. I walk right out. And the reason is because I hate it. I said, man, I hate this. Now, I actually have lost 70 pounds. I know what it takes to get a six-pack. I know the work needed to get a six-pack. Guess what? And I think this is beautiful. And this should be celebrated. And some people don't understand this because they think, dude, you gave up. That's shameful. Like you walked out in class, you gave up. That's bad. I say it's good because I know the work needed to get a six-pack. And guess what? I'm not willing to put in that work. So I've come up with that realization that, hey, guess what? That's not me. I've now changed now at that point, you have to change your goals, which is what I did. I changed my goals to just be healthy, which I know what it takes to be healthy, which is basically just eating right and walking briskly 30 minutes a day. Again, talk to your own doctor. I'm willing to do that. And I have been doing that. You see, like I got all these, I got all these nuts and all these healthy snacks and stuff and just drinking a lot of water. Know what your limits are. So if you want to target entrepreneurs, but you want to maintain a 9-to-5 boundary, you're targeting the wrong dude.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But honestly, it's easy, man. Like I always salivate about thinking about. I think I'd crush it as a realtor, to be honest with you, just because like most realtors just don't have any idea how to market themselves. They just don't. So you're lucky because your competition's stinkies too. They just don't know how to market themselves. So if you just, even this one little tip I gave you about messaging, you're way ahead of your competition. And then of course, it's an avalanche effect. People are like, oh, I get a lot of referral business. But when you get referral business on social media, it's a lot bigger. Because the old school way is, oh, I helped this guy buy a house, then he tells his neighbor, he tells his friend. On social media, you're telling a whole lot of people. You can get a whole lot more referrals. Do you know what I mean? And then I would also look. I'm a shark, right? I would be competitive, right? I would charge a lower rate, in the beginning. I would charge a lower rate in the beginning. I would get a brand. I would get a good following. I would get, then I would probably raise my rates because then I would establish myself as the best. Like you want a property quick under market? I'm the best, and I charge accordingly. And guess what? Entrepreneurs like myself, we're willing to pay top dollar to get top service. Again, I'm just giving you an example. Another thing about realtors is content marketing. They should be advertising on Facebook locally. They should be putting together a Facebook group. They should be putting out content in the other localized groups, how to get a house under market, how to get a house quickly, or whatever your specialty is. Put the content out there and people will flock to you. And then do Facebook Lives. Talk about, oh, today I closed the house and this is the story how I closed the house. Today I got a new client. Show yourself as that expert. You're basically building a brand. There's no reason you can't do 7 figures as a realtor. Your competition stinks. Everybody needs a house. Few people are properly utilizing social media. It's the wild, wild west right now.
Yeah, I think you covered so many interesting areas there, Akbar. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Just to take the example of your realtor in Texas, depending on which part of Texas he's in, he could market himself that he specializes in ranches of like 5 to 15 acres. and he specializes, if you're looking for that kind of archetypal ranch set up on the outskirts of a major city, I'm your man, you know. And by choosing that specific niche, then all his social media content should be around what's going on in the ranch market, pictures of people that he's meeting, knowing that have ranches, clients that he's helped buy ranches. It should be all about ranches. Would you agree about that?
Yeah, he should be known as that ranch dude. You know, like his name, he should be associated with that. You know, and then here's the thing: people might think, oh well, if I'm known as just a ranch guy, then I'm eliminating all the people who want, you know, whatever, a stucco building or a brick building. People got to understand, there's a lot more money in the niche. Don't think about all that. You know what you're missing. There's a lot more money in the niche than being a what do they call it? You know, what do they call it?
Generalist.
A generalist, or like what do they call, like I do a little bit of everything, but I'm master of none. You know what I mean?
Well, it's so tempting, isn't it? You know, for the reason you've just explained, because you get worried that you're going to, especially at the beginning, and it's counterintuitive, isn't it, Akbar? You know, it really is very counterintuitive that by finding a niche, and that I see that as one of the most major problems with so many real estate agents and realtors, even those that have been in the industry a reasonably long time, is they haven't found that effective niche, and that's why their marketing is very ineffective.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely correct. I mean, and then, like, you know, they should have email lists. They should have bot lists. I mean, it's interesting. They need to get on social media. I think a lot of them don't know how to. I think, and man, that'd be a good business for someone to start, is like, you know, hey, we help realtors get on social media.
Well, funny enough, that's what Mel Wright does, actually.
Is that what you guys do?
Well, specifically with Facebook, we have a SaaS product where we provide landing pages, a set of drip email.
Okay.
Also, we provide a social media content that can be automatically pushed to agents' Facebook page and Instagram. But it's all focused for providing a set of tools to that agent realtor to help them market on social media and also generate leads through Facebook advertising. So that's our platform.
Wow.
So we eat our own cat food, really, because I have niched the product to a specific industry, and then we market to that agent that's been in the industry between 1 to 5 years. That's our target audience. So I'm not telling you, the audience and listeners, to do anything that what I don't believe in myself. And this is why I resonate so much with what you've been saying, is that I totally believe that if you want success in 2018 in any kind of business, you've got to find that niche, haven't you?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a phenomenal service you offer, really. I mean, it's much, much needed. I haven't seen any realtor get on social media, actually, now that I think about it. That's a great service you offer. I think people should really take advantage of that.
Well, it's a little bit tricky, isn't it? Because let's take Facebook. You know, if you don't utilize paid advertisement, or you don't do a lot of video, your Facebook page, your posts aren't going to get a lot of views. You know, a lot of it is, you know, I would suggest that you're probably going to have to use your profile a bit. And
yeah, that's what I do.
Not push your business. Well, this is the tricky bit. I love to hear, before we go for our break, to hear what you say about this. This is the tricky bit. How do you find that balance in utilizing your personal profile, but also, you know, it's a personal profile, so the terms and conditions of Facebook, you can't use it for direct marketing, but you're entrepreneurs, so your business is your life. So have you got any insights how you could use your profile effectively without breaking the terms and conditions of Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a very interesting point. It's a very, very interesting point. Um, there's got to be a balance. There's a business page, there's a business group, there's Facebook groups, there's your personal profile. But no, I mean, look, you got to understand that you can absolutely talk about your life. You're a realtor. You can absolutely talk about your life and give tips, and stuff like that. It's probably just saying like you can't like try to do like a live webinar and sell something or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're very much free to talk about, give people real estate tips and all sorts of things of that nature.
Yeah, I don't think they can hit you too hard, long as it's not blatant marketing, because you are a realtor, aren't you? That is your life, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you're
absolutely.
going to talk about that in your personal profile, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're going to go for our break, and when we come back, I've almost agreed with everything I've said already. And we're going to delve a bit more into some of the key areas that he covers on his online contact. We'll be back in a few moments, folks. We've had a great discussion. I've enjoyed it so far. So let's go into your catch, like the ethical persuader. Would you like to talk a bit about that whole concept of ethical persuasion and what you've learned in your own journey about persuasion, actually?
It's interesting. I mean, there's some people. I mean, oh God, we were doing a background check on someone yesterday, and it was disgusting on a website.
That wasn't me, was it? No,
And
I'm totally open. You can find out that I'm not being a bad boy.
no, not their report. The report wasn't disgusting. The website was disgusting. So first of all, we put in someone's name. It's like, okay, we need a background check on someone. It did a bunch of fake downloading, like, okay, we're scanning this person's criminal records, we're scanning this person's personal record, we're scanning wherever they live. Nonsense, because that information is instantaneous. They did that on purpose to just delay the process, to keep people engaged, to keep people hooked. Then they had a bunch of windows like, hey, warning, these reports may contain embarrassing details about this person. Are you okay to see that? Yes. Warning, there may be graphic, very personal details that they don't want anyone to know. Are you okay to see it? All lies and BS and principles of persuasion, not ethical, but there are principles of, tapping into everyone's like, yeah, of course. Like if you say, oh yeah, like if you're looking up like your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, yeah, of course you want to see those embarrassing details. Like, yes, like now you're making salivating. Yes, you want, like, oh my God, yes. All lies, all BS. They put you through 100 steps because at the end, guess what? They charge you for it.
Yeah.
So basically they're telling us, okay, now, by the way, you're going to see everywhere they've ever lived, and we don't hide anything. It's very in-depth. And it's like, these are unethical principles of persuasion. But you can do the same things ethically, social proof, put an honest, nice testimony. Scarcity, give them an honest, like, hey, listen, as a realtor, hey, deals go quickly on average, and give them statistics. On average, deals are going in 3 days. So you want something, you got to get it now. That's honest scarcity,
Yeah.
honest testimonies. Hey, this guy, I was working with Mark. Oh my God. This realtor knew exactly what I wanted. They showed me my dream houses and we closed very quickly. And he got me a great deal very quickly, hitting all the pain points, you want to obliterate all pain points. You want to obliterate all objections, right?
I just want to interrupt there. I just want to see if you agree with this. One thing I would criticize about my road in online marketing, and also a lot of real estate agents and realtors, I don't really think they really understand their clients, their pains, their wants. They just presume they know, but I don't feel that they really do. And it's taken me to realize I've got to spend time. If I'm entering a new market or I'm branding myself, I've really got to make a sizable amount of time to really attempt to understand my target audience. What do you think about that?
You should know your target audience like the back of your hand. You should know them better than they know themselves. I mean, when you talk to them, they should be like, "Oh my God, has this dude been reading my diary?" You know what I mean? I mean, you need to know what these guys, you need to know exactly what their pain points are and exactly what their wants are, exactly where they want to be. You know, and for a realtor, that's not hard, man. I mean, because the best way to do this is to talk to your target audience, and that's what realtors are doing all day. They're talking to them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
I'm sorry to interrupt there. I think I caught you in mid-thought there, but I just wanted to point it out because I really think that if you don't get that, doing all the other excellent things we've discussed isn't going to get the results that you hope for. I just wanted to point it out. So let's get back to ethical persuasion. Sorry.
yeah. No, I mean, you know, present yourself as an authority. Hey, we closed 30 houses this month or whatever it is. Present yourself as that dude because sometimes, again, depends on your niche. A lot of people want to work with the best, and a lot of people want to work with someone who knows what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? So you want to show yourself as an authority. I mean, you must have something, you know, and if you must have some award or one or something, you know, some sort of authority, some sort of something that shows that you're really good at what you do. And if you don't, then you need to fine tune your skills a little bit before you start marketing. You need to fine tune your skills a little bit, get a little bit of success organically, and then you know it's easier to start marketing or do it in baby steps. So you have authority, scarcity, likability. You know, show your personality, show that you'd be a nice person to work with, an understanding person to work with that listens that more than they talk. You know what I mean? Things of this nature is the ethical principles of persuasion.
Do you think you, because we covered it in our discussion last week, that a lot of agents, for understandable reasons, want to come across a little bit bland, a little bit, they avoid, I don't mean you should delve into politics or something, but what I mean is that they just want to come across a bit bland and they won't upset anybody. They won't reject any possible client that comes their way. But by doing that, they just become another agent. They just become a commodity. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to that thing about the niche, right? People like who are afraid of niching down. They're afraid of losing people that are not in the niche. The same thing is like, I think the most profitable person you can be is yourself. As a matter of fact, if I ever say anything like, about my thoughts or my beliefs or whatever, I'm not afraid to say any of it at all on Facebook because some people might unfriend me. For example, there was a hot dog eating contest on ESPN last week. I thought the whole thing was stupid. I was like, dude, this is so stupid. This guy ate 73 hot dogs. We have a bunch of people cheering him on. This is not what society is about. This is gluttony. This is about greed. This is not, people should not be cheering this on. This is a sad thing. This is excessive behavior. And a lot of people agreed with me. Well, first of all, some people disagreed with me and they're no longer friends with me on Facebook because they disagreed very strongly. They don't follow me anymore. But then other people agreed very strongly with me. And those people now feel closer to me. Do you know what I mean? So it's about building your tribe of like-minded people who really resonate with you, because not only do people buy from those that they like and trust, but they also they also buy into what you believe. So I honestly tell people the most profitable person you can be is really yourself.
I love that actually. Where's the balance though? Because a lot of real estate agents and realtors are going to be listening to this and they think, it's so counterintuitive that they got, I'm not trying to be nasty to anybody, but you see a lot of agents that have very outdated photos. They have a kind of persona there. And also, would you agree? I think it's a little bit harder for a woman. The real estate industry is dominated by women, and it's a little bit harder. Do you think it's a little bit harder for a woman to do some of the things we've just discussed?
No, I don't.
No, you think it's just as effective?
I think there's no difference at all. I think I think it's no difference at all. I mean, I think if anything, women have a little bit more of an advantage. Yeah, just as like, okay, are you going to trust who they say, well, who makes the best CEOs? Females. If I would prefer to work with a female realtor. Why? I think they're going to work harder, and I think they're going to be smarter, and I think that they're going to be more organized, and I think they're going to be more on top of things. Matter of fact, the realtor I've chosen is female.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's really fascinating. Thank you for being so frank about that. So, when it comes to persuasion, obviously you got two parts for agent. You actually attract somebody's recommended you on social media, or you've done some advert or some contacts attracted a possible client, and then you have that first meeting, where you attempt to persuade them to sign up with you. Have you got any insights about some of the factors that will make that meeting successful?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really just about, I mean, God, I did this. I went to an open house recently and it was pathetic. The realtor is trying to get us to sign up with them. And they gave us no reason to. They're like, hey, well, look, I can help show you some houses. You just want to work with me. Just sign this paperwork. And I was like, dude, this realtor can't be doing well. Because they gave, it's like this. It's like going on a date, first date, and and asking someone, in essence, what you're doing is on a first date, you're asking someone to marry you. Now the problem is, what a lot of people, they're just going up to some random person at the bar and say, hey, will you marry me? Like, of course the answer is going to be no. You're probably going to get a slap in the face. You know what I mean? The thing is, now you're talking about a lot of principles of persuasion. It's a first meeting. How are you going to get them to sign up with you? Put them at ease. To listen to and show them that you understand make it about them, right? Number one, what is it that you're exactly looking for? What's your dream home? And write everything down. Okay. And then guess what? First diagnose the problem. What's your story? Why do you want to move? What is your dream house look like? What is your budget? What's your time frame? Ask that in a very friendly manner, like you're a friend trying to help them out, right? Then once you diagnose the situation, okay, for example, me, why am I moving? Well, we're in a loft and I have 2 kids and there's not enough space and they're going nuts at home. I need the backyard. We need a little bit more space. I actually want to start working from home. Okay, so you need, in other words, and then you repeat it to them so that they understand that you get it. So like, okay, so you're looking for a nice, safe house, in the corner. You're looking for a nice yard for the kids to enjoy. You're looking for maybe like a nice little office for yourself. And just a little bit bigger so you can enjoy your family life. And they'll be like, yes, exactly. Like you get it. Do you know what I mean? Then there's a connection. And then you tell them, you look them right in the eye and say, listen, I can totally help you with this. We can start right away and we can go at your own pace. You want to go quickly, we want to go slowly at your own pace. And I'm going to be here for you 100%. And you give them the blueprint. Like, I'm available for you, whatever, 9 to 9, 9 to 5, whatever. I'm available. You contact me directly on my cell or right on Facebook. I'm going to show you things. You tell me exactly what you want to see. We're going to take a look at it. I'm going to negotiate the best deal for you. And I have your best interest at heart. I know exactly what you want. And we'll make it happen. We've done so for 50 people in the past 30 days, whatever. Add some authority. Just sign right here. And let's start getting you into your dream house.
Oh, just about to sign myself, actually. You mesmerised me there a little bit. We're gonna finish up the podcast part of the show, folks. Hopefully Akbar is going to stay on. He's actually got a fascinating personal story about connected to his own personal challenges, which he's been very public about. So I'm going to ask him hopefully some questions about that and what he's learned about his own personal journey, which is fascinating, actually. Akbar, how can people find out more about you and what you're up to?
Honestly, the best thing is 2 things. Follow me on Facebook, number 1. Number 2 is go to, I actually have a book, a best-selling book called 7-Figure Funnels. And it'll talk to you a lot about these persuasions, and it'll talk to you a lot about, how to increase your practice as a realtor. It's $47 on Amazon right now, but I'd love to give it to your audience for free. If you just go to 7figurebook.com. and then you go ahead and enjoy that book.
That's very generous of you. I'll be tempted to get it myself, actually. Uh, um, if you want to find out more about me or have a chat, you can go to the MailRight website. You can book a 30-minute consultation with me directly, and we'll talk about how to put your online marketing and do some of the things we've discussed during this interview. And that's totally free. Or if you want to see some of the other interviews that we've done with similar great experts, you can go to the MailRight website, and there's a full library of interviews. It's almost like a university course 101 in real estate marketing, and it's well worth your effort to look at those videos because they're some of the best experts in the industry and in marketing in general. Akbar, I've really enjoyed our discussion. It's been fantastic. I think we've actually touched some of the core things that a realtor or real estate agent has to get right in 2018. And I thank you for coming on the show. And we'll see you next week, folks, where we're going to have another expert and which should help you grow your real estate business. We'll see you next week, folks. Bye.
Peace.
So on to some of the bonus content. So your personal journey's been fascinating, because I understand when I was reading your bio and that for a period of time you were homeless. Is that true?
Yeah, I was absolutely. I absolutely was. I was in a closet. I was in a closet, living in a closet, no electric, no windows, no hot water, no showers. I was homeless. I ended up half dead from a lot of addiction problems. So we come from a real rock bottom, but we were given a new lease on life, and we decided to take advantage of it, and here we are today.
So what led to the journey out of that quite bad and dark situation then?
That's a great question. Sorry, one second. Here's the thing. I can pinpoint it, actually. The moment I decided just not to give up, the moment I decided that I don't care, we're going to make this happen no matter what. We're going to literally make this happen, or we're going to die trying. And I just got into that mind frame that I've never been on in my whole life. I said, no, not this time. We're not giving up. And I just burned all the bridges, gave myself no other option but to succeed. And then we did it.
So thank you for that insight. I don't know how specific you want to go into this, and if you don't, fair enough. But I just think there's a lot of blasé attitudes around people that have certain addictions, or they might suffer from mental illness, or there's a lot of mythology about people that are homeless, that living on the street. I think it's when you get into that situation, it can. So specifically, when you had that psychological change, did you have friends and family that then helped you get out that situation, or had you burnt all those bridges? And if so, how did you manage to get your first rented apartment, or how did you manage to get a job that allowed you to move out of those circumstances?
Well, first of all, I'll say something that some people might not like. I think addiction is a choice.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Okay. See, some people say, no, they can't control themselves. It's genetics. Do I believe that some people are born with what's called an addictive personality? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I have one. I still have one.
Oh, you would say that, would you?
Yeah, I definitely have an addictive personality. There's no doubt about it. But that's my test in life. I have to control that. That's what, I don't, for example, I'm not, some people are, like womanizers, they're just like, they see women and they just kind of go nuts. They're just, I don't know, they're just perverts by nature.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have that problem, but I have an addiction problem where, for example, you know, I used to be addicted to gambling, used to love gambling, used to love drinking, used to love smoking cigarettes, you know, addicted to all these things. Not addicted to any of them anymore because I chose not to be. Which I just morning I got into a big argument with my cousin because he's an alcoholic, and because he was an alcoholic, he's gotten divorced. He's made his mother's life, his ex-wife, his kids' life, his in-laws, his extended family. He's made all of their lives a living hell because he decided to be a jerk and continuously go to the store and keep buying the bottle. You know, and I was a jerk for a minute too. You know, where I just kept drinking, but I didn't really, and I did hurt some people, you know, but it was short-lived, you know, but then eventually we did wake up and say, no, enough is enough. You know, we're not going to do this anymore. So I don't appreciate people who have been, I mean, I'm blessed that I was given a second chance and I took advantage of it. I really am blessed about that. As far as how did I move out, man, when I was in a homeless state, I started getting involved in the internet marketing world. And I just started, and I wasn't seeing any success. But then, you know, when I decided not to give up, right, I started seeing some success. I tweaked a few things. I started looking at things a little differently, that I tried to help people first. I started seeing some success, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, 2,000, 3,000, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, blah, blah, blah. Then I had enough to kind of get a place, you know, in that process, you know, and then I got a place, and then, so it just started organically, you know, it just started organically. The cool thing about realtors, you know, you're in a business, it's debt free. You're in a really cool business that's debt free, and you have an ample amount of opportunity to make top 1% type of dollars. Top 1% only means, you know, 300,000 a year, by the way, something like that. So, you know, it's phenomenal. You can open a business pretty much debt free and start making incredible amounts of money. So yeah, that's why I say right now we're, you know, this is the wild, wild west.
Well, you know, but do you know, especially if you go to San Francisco, the amount of homeless people is astronomical, and it seems to be growing, because to actually live, if you're an average person, to actually live in San Francisco is practically, unless you're in rented accommodation that is rent controlled, is practically impossible. But do you think that a lot of people that end up on this, that not suffering from mental illness, that they become, for obvious reasons, I'm not attacking people, but they become, they start telling themselves a story that leads even, that's not going to help them really. If you, am I making any sense?
Yeah, no, I do think the vast majority of people who are homeless have some sort of mental illness or some serious addiction problems or something. But, you know, people want to sit there and feel sorry for themselves like I did. You know, they want to blame everyone else, blame the system, blame everyone else like I was doing. The reality is success is not luck. You have a whole group of people, oh, that dude's lucky, that dude's lucky. To me, there's no such thing as luck.
All right.
Yeah, to me, success is an option, just like addiction is an option.
Yeah, I can understand your thoughts there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've chosen not to smoke cigarettes. I wish I would. I love it. You know, I really do. It was one of my favorite things in the world to do. But I've chosen not to do that now. I've chosen to put my health and my family first. You know, wait, why don't I smoke? Yeah, I don't smoke because I want to be healthy, and I don't smoke because it's bad. Yeah, it's a terrible thing. Yeah, it is a bad thing. It is a bad thing.
Well, it killed my mother, so.
Yeah, same. And we have a lot of people. Yeah, it's a terrible thing. Yeah, exactly. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
I'll tell you a little bit about my mother. She came from the north of England, from Yorkshire. So she lived in London for most of her life, but she still had a very strong Yorkshire accent. And she was in hospital a few days before she died. She was going to die, and she turned around to me and she said, "I never thought smoking was going to kill me." And I didn't really know what to say. I didn't want to be dishonest to my mother because I knew that she only had a few days, but I also wanted to be compassionate. So I just nodded. But she smoked 2 packs a day. And she'd been a smoker for 30 to 40 years. I think she started smoking at the age of 14, which was not uncommon in that part of England. So what do you think is going to happen in the end?
Yeah.
But it's self-delusion, isn't it?
I think when, at that point, and going back, I didn't care. It was like, whatever. You just didn't care. Because you're just so, I put it this way. I don't know any look, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I don't know any heavy hitters who everything is on point. Their life is pretty on point. And they're smoking cigarettes. It seems to me like, that's the story these days. Would you agree?
Yeah, but I also think you were quite insightful that you're that type of personality. So, and some of that energy that was inflected back in self-destructive behavior is now, but you're kind of that addictive type of personality. And I don't mean that in a negative, because that's a driver. That drive has driven you to get the level of success which you've got now.
Yeah. No, it's true, man. I am of the mindset that every single thing happens for a reason. Therefore, I have no regrets. Therefore, I don't really get upset. Like right now, I just let go of my social media team because it wasn't working out. They were not doing a good job. And I could sit here and be like, dude, this is a nightmare. There's such a delay on it. Oh my God, this is having such employment issues, which I am. But at the end of the day, it's fine. Everything happens for a reason. It's a learning. I'll learn from it. It's an experience. We'll grow from it. With this mindset, you don't be like, I have another family member who's a cousin. Man, this guy, he claims he's the unluckiest guy in the world. He blames luck. He's trying to he never made it in business. And it's because he never took action. And it's because he's not an action taker. And it's because he just talks a lot about ideas. And it's because he makes, poor decisions. It's all because of his fault, basically. But he blames luck and he wants to blame other things. So that's the thing. You have the decision. Look, the blueprint is there. As a matter of fact, you can even read it in my book. Like the blueprint is there on how to succeed in business, right? It's timeless, classic steps that every successful person follows. It's your choice whether or not you want to take it. Just like it was my choice to leave kickboxing. I could have gotten a 6-pack. I chose not to because I didn't want to do that work. So it's up to you. You want success, great. You don't, great. Live with your choice.
Thank you so much. Obviously, I think you can see why I left this particular part of the discussion in our bonus content, but I think it's been a really fascinating insight about you and some of your own drivers, and thank you for being so frank about some personal subjects.
Yeah.
We're going to end the discussion now, folks. We'll be back next week where we'll be talking to somebody that will help you in your business and in your life in general. We'll see you soon, folks. Bye.
Thanks, now. Bye.